Mr.
Tim McIntyre.
Mr. Speaker, I love hearing the Labor Party trying to cheer themselves up. They've had more leaders than we've had hot dinners. And if they want to look at the local body elections over the last weekend, the reality of the matter is that there's actually been very little change. More to the point, let's look at Phil Goff. There he is out there campaigning with blue hoardings because he didn't want to be associated with red ones. And Leanne Dalzell, well, Leanne's a lovely person. And who was she up against but John Minto? Well, she was probably perceived as being the right-wing candidate. Sir, I have to say there was not much about the local body elections that should cheer up the Labor Party. But I guess I can say that in most parts of the country, they got a result. Back in Hamilton, we don't even know who our mayor is, and I do feel for Andrew King and Paula Southgate, who are waiting on the knife edge of the cliffhanger election, and good luck to both of them. Thank them for standing, and everybody. Sir, I do want to acknowledge the Honourable Phil Goff, who is a respected parliamentarian and who has made a significant contribution, and I think it's right that we should wish him well, and I congratulate him on his election to the mayoralty, and I wish him well because it's a vitally important job, and as has been acknowledged by others, he's now very keen to be a good friend of National Party cabinet ministers, and so he should be because the relationship between central and local government is important, and I don't think he expects to be spending quality time with any of his former colleagues anytime soon. Sir, what we have seen in the last few years, and one of the reasons why I'm so proud to be a member of the government on this side of the House, is that it has been a government that has governed through incredibly challenging times, the global financial crisis, the earthquakes being the two most obvious examples, but other challenges have beset us as well. We have managed to get the fundamentals of the economy back on track. We are now held up as a model to be followed, one of the best in the OECD, and many countries look on to our programs that we're implementing across a range of different areas and say, New Zealand's on the right track, New Zealand's the country to follow. And I'm very proud of that. And we have heard today from our Minister of Health, who's doing a great job. No longer, as we did under the Labor government, have we got people having to go over to Australia for cancer surgery, people waiting in hospital corridors and all that sort of thing. There will always be a bottomless pit, a huge demand for health services, no question of that. But the good thing is that we have seen the provision of healthcare services going up and up and up over the years, and we have some of the best services available that we've ever had, and I'm very proud of that. In education, we've just heard from our outstanding minister, the Honourable Hekia Parata, who is doing a superb job, that one of the real focuses of all of the decisions that she's had to be making is how do we lift that core of people at the bottom who are at the risk of falling through the cracks and not achieving an education. And that is why our government is targeting additional resources in this government, $43 million worth, at those families who are most likely to miss out. And I'm very proud of that. That means that we are using the data which has told us what is necessary in an evidence-based way to get better outcomes. And so another one that I want to focus on, and I'm going to use a local example, is on the whole issue of housing and homelessness. Because as Phil Goff said yesterday, all MPs come here because we want to make New Zealand a better place. We may disagree on how we're going to do that, but we're all here because we want to see our fellow New Zealanders better off, that those who are most at risk of falling out of off the rails or into some sort of form of deprivation or hardship are lifted up. And that's what we are doing. Now, in Hamilton, they have embraced the project that is firmly at the heart of the way the government is tackling the issue of homelessness and the provision of social housing. And rather than having this sort of ideologically blinkered approach that some of our opponents have, that only the government through Housing New Zealand can provide, and that the way that things have always been done is the way they've always got to be done because you couldn't possibly look at alternatives, we are saying no. Let's make sure that we grow the stock of social housing. It's not so important who owns it as the fact that it's there. It's one of the reasons why I'm such a strong supporter of whānau ora, because it's part of the policy of ensuring that we meet local needs with local solutions. Now, sir, I want to acknowledge the People's Project in Hamilton, based in Garden Place in the CBD in my electorate, who are working incredibly well. And in the last couple of years, since they got started, I think it was back in July 2014, they have housed quite a large number of homeless people. Nobody wants to see people sleeping rough. And we'll still see the odd person sleeping rough, but far fewer in Hamilton. Because the really important thing is not only are they getting it, they're getting wraparound services that ensure that their overall needs are met. I'm very proud of that.
Point of order, Ron Mark.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. In response to a comment that's just made by the last speaker,
Order. Can I just have the point of order, please?
Yes. Can I seek leave to table a table which I've just put together showing political party leaders in New Zealand Parliament since 1996, which shows Nationals had 5, Labour's had 5, New Zealand First had 1.
Order. Member will resume his seat. No, I'm not prepared to put the leave. It's a matter of some authenticity to the document. It's not about tabling a document to make a political point. Does the member wish to take a call? Tracy Martin.